It's nearly Christmas. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Like Father, Like Son. My guy, Kojo, the character, is off hanging out with moms. They out shopping, buying, doing what they do with their mother. Hope everyone is having a great evening. This is my first opportunity. We are also streaming on YouTube, and that's at CL McAllister. Something new that we're giving it a shot, see what that's about. We do enough shows. We're going to try to keep them going. I'm your host, Mr. Unknown. My guy, Kojo, the character, he's off for the evening. Today is December 21st, on Friday. It is that day that most love. That being Christmas, the 26th, Kwanzaa. I'm going to keep kind of updating you and telling you. But let me tell you how my day started, though, okay? Because my day started today with, check that, not how I started, what happened in my day, okay? Kojo would be absolutely on fire if I told y'all, but let me tell you, I'm on the phone, I'm talking to my wife, and out of nowhere, the bird, boop, 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 and it just onto my pants. And it was like that splatter, right? That, and you know how like when, like a water balloon, but like if it was like a miniature water balloon and it just kind of like hit the top of your head and then it's like, and then you saw the actual green substance of the boo-boo right there on the pants. Hey, it was a cold feeling to deal with that, straight up. So when I had that feeling, it just took me back to when I was a youngster. And the last time I got boo-booed on, I was in I want to say 7th, 8th grade, something like that. And I truly remember that. I was on the playground at Marina Middle School, and flat out, I got boo-booed on by the bird. Straight up. Boo-boo, bowel movement, whatever you want to call it. However you want to call it, okay? That's what I seen. And so that's what happened today. And that goes back almost 30 years ago, right? Because that's 88, 89, 90. Okay? So it happened. I'm going to just say 80. I'm going to say that I got boo-booed on in 89. Okay? 89, 99, 2009, 2019, and it's 2020. That's 31 years ago. The last time I got boo-booed on by a bird. And when I got boo-booed on then, in comparison to now, it was just like, I can't believe this just happened. And I was in the midst of trying to situate some business stuff that, of course, you know, that never gets solidified, especially when you're trying to fix a bill. Let's just go with that, right? Shouts out to old moms right there hanging out with us this evening, right? She caught it today. I don't know what happened to her phone today in comparison to any other day, but that's all right. You hanging out with me, and we solid. So, you know what? I'm not even going to give up the Kojo information because it's kind of embarrassing, so I'm not even going to go there. I'll just go with my embarrassments, and, you know, I'm okay with that. So, you know, he's only, 10 years old. His little heart could be broken. But most of the time, he doesn't watch the shows if he's not in it, unless he's sitting here producing, which he's not. So maybe I could just slide it on through, but I won't do him like that, right? So anyway, today our discussion is about drunk driving, okay? So now we know that drunk driving is one of those serious situations that a lot of times people ignore the drunk driving. Some people will tell you that, oh, I just had a drink or two and I'm okay. But when you talk to those who have been a part of the drunk driving accidents, tragedies, disasters, is different. You're taking your life and you're putting it in a predicament to where you're pretty much saying, and I'm about to go deep here, I'm about to go deep. You're pretty much saying that I'm God at that moment, that I got it all under control. I can drink, I'm going to drive. It's no big deal. I'm not that drunk. I didn't have that much. I only had 2 drinks. Yesterday I drove. I had 4 drinks. I made it home. All of those scenarios. Me, myself, right here. I am a victim of thinking I can get by drinking, then driving home. I have done it many times. Now, does that make me a hypocrite? Does it make you a hypocrite to tell someone not to do something or to advise them, give them opinions or suggestions to not do something, but you do it? Does that make you a hypocrite? Or does it just make you someone who says, hey, be better than me? Because, that falls a lot in the category of like with our children. You may smoke the marijuana, you may drink the alcohol, you may do the heroin, you may do the cocaine, you may do any type of substance, but does that mean that you want your kid to do it? Anyway, we just talking. Let the mind think, let the mind rotate, let it feel itself. So I am 42, 43. Oh, wow. Hey, each year you always got to remember that you that 1 year older. You always got to remember that. Like you always, for a whole year, you like, I'm this age. And then, a month, 2 months after, you always like, yeah, I'm that old age. No, you're not. You are that older age. You old at. Anyway, so drinking. I'm 43 years old. Let's get that right. Okay. I'm 43 years old. And when I was 24 years old, I had that day. You know that day. What's the discussion? The discussion is drinking and driving. So when I was 24 years old, I had that day where I got pulled over after a night of drinking. And I was, what do they call it? I ain't gonna say incarcerated because that's not what I'm thinking first. First, I was detained, handcuffed, slammed into a police car, all because of my doing, my wrongdoing, straight up, which led me to have an unfamiliar feeling that was horrifying. Now, what do I mean by that? Meaning, when I got into this police car, and I'm 24. I'm 24. I want to say I was younger just so I can say I was young and dumb, even though at 24, you're still young and dumb, right? But I wasn't that young and dumb. I was 24, but I was still, say it with me, young and dumb. Okay, cool. So I'm at 24. Car is impounded. Now, here's how cold the world works and why drinking and driving will just go from here, I'm cool, to there, to deep down in the valley, where I get pulled over. My car is pretty much in a parking spot. But no, that police officer did not want to allow that to happen. He made sure it got towed. It got towed. Yes, it did. He did not care that I pulled over and at 1 o'clock in the morning and I pulled right into a perfect parking spot. Nope. Because that's less money for him. And his whole breakdown of city, county, of San Francisco, police payment, taxes, all of that, right? So no, he didn't let me go. Hey, who gives a damn? All in all, it was my fault. I'm now seeking his gratitude, his graciousness for something that I did. Now, earlier today, I was telling my mother-in-law that I was going to speak on drinking and driving. And she made a statement saying, you know, most people, when they know they shouldn't, or if they get caught, or if they're in trouble, or if someone comes with a subject somewhat similar to this, they feel it for a day or two, a week, a month, and then they go back to doing what they do. Now, somewhere in there, you eventually become selfish. No regard for others, no regard for life, and all that. I believe in God. You can throw that out. Yeah, you can believe that God is going to get you home. That's one thing. That's right. But that's sort of making an excuse for the fact that you weren't being responsible enough to make sure that you were safe and keeping others safe, because it's not just about you. It's not about me. It's about all the other people that are on the road. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you happen to have a family? Did you have children? Did you have a significant other? Because they matter too. And you're being selfish to them. Now, as I tell you this story, I'm only talking to myself while talking to you. And if you're wondering why I keep looking over there, it's because I'm streaming live also on YouTube as I try to double it up. In the words of, no, y'all don't want to hear his name, but he had an album called Double Up. If you know who it is, you know who it is. Yeah, I'm still a fan, sorry. Anyway, the mentality, the mind is something that we cannot take advantage of unless it's positive. And the mind can fail us if we are not focused in the mindset of, I guess, righteousness, for it, just to put it in lame terms. Now, you all know, some of you may know, I've been reading this Gifted Hands to my boys, and this is a phenomenal, fantastic book. You see how that book take all the light and turn me into this little triple, quadruple dark human? Look good, but I'm just saying. Anyway, let me lighten him up just a little, because you know I don't want y'all to get nervous and all scared and shit, you know. So anyway, the Ben Carson story, Gifted Hands, right? And this young man has some, I don't know, I don't want to say he has skeletons, but if you leave it up to America say that the young man has skeletons, right? But I do know that he did some phenomenal things in this world, some fascinating things in this world. And I mean the world. We ain't talking about just the United States of America. We're talking from Australia to Africa to Europe and probably beyond. And if you haven't read that book, I truly advise you to read that book. And if for whatever reason you can't read that book, or you don't feel like going to purchase it, go find the movie. It's called, again, Gifted Hands, starring Cuba Gooding Jr. Fascinating movie. The book has way more details though. Sante and Kobe, Sante even, that's not happening right there. Anyway, back to the subject. Drinking and driving. We as individuals, we have a hard time abiding by all rules. How about that? And it's probably simply because as we are asked to abide by rules, there are rules being broken on a daily by those who are at the highest peak, meaning the government of the United States of America. Now, is that an excuse for you to drive drinking, being a drunk driver? No, it's not really. But if you constantly see nothing but negativity and something wrong in the world or in your state or in your country, you eventually learn how to do some of that negative thing simply because negative is rolling. Now, some would say, like Ben Carson, like probably Bev would say, well, then you need to get closer to God. Well, maybe that is the answer. And even in the words of, or in the words of Louis Farrakhan, he would tell you, get closer to God. There was one time Louis Farrakhan was listening. He was reading this. He was giving a sermon, and he said that he one day had to break away from his wife and his children, and he left for 4 days in a hotel. And he, and his wife was questioning whether he was cheating on her and etc. He said, but regardless of all of that, he still did it. And he went to the hotel and he prayed for 4 days, pretty much all day long. Now, most would say, you would say, I would say, that is extremely a lot. That's way too much. You're putting too much on it. But then I stop and I think, if you prayed for 4 days straight, all day, so all the words that came out your mouth, all the thought process that came in your mind was clearly and indubitably and 100% toward the heavens above, you would definitely be a changed individual. And I think that until you experience that, put your feet in that human shoes, Louis Farrakhan or any other major believer in the higher spirits, you can't knock it. Because if you sit there and listen to rap music for 4 days, nonstop, all the way through, I don't know how many hours all the way is. I'm going to say 8, 10, somewhere along the lines. I mean, even Jesus was saying, hey, brother, go take a break. Stop praying to me so much. Maybe? I don't know. I'm sorry. God, look. Hey, I'm just saying. Go eat. Go use the bathroom. Go do something. Come on back later and then talk to me again because I'm trying to talk to these other people. Maybe. I'm not sure. But look, listen. I'm always going to throw a little bit of comedy in there. But I'm saying all that to say that sometimes we have to go into a deeper place in us to abide by the rules and by righteousness. And I'm not trying to preach to you or anything like that. Again, I'm the person, me. I have drove and drunk. I had to go to the class and sit in the class every Monday for, I don't know, 10 weeks in a row and listen to some individual in the front tell me that I was an alcoholic. That's a cold feeling. I don't care what you say. And some people are okay with being alcoholics. And then other people will debate it. They say if you think about a drink, you're an alcoholic. Definitely if you drink every day, you're an alcoholic. Some people will tell you that drinking is good. It tastes good. I beg to differ. It is an addiction. It is something that clings to you. Okay? It clings to you. Look, gotcha. You like that? You like the feeling. Then you may graduate to the taste. But it's really about that feeling is what the reality is. And when you get that feeling of what alcohol does to you, you search for that feeling. I'll never forget the first time that I got drunk. I was 18, 19, and I was going to a Galileo High School party, San Francisco, California, and we're out there, and we're having a good time. We're walking down, what is that, McAllister, whatever. I'm no relates, but you know what I mean. Could have been we don't go there, right? So I'm walking down McAllister with 2 or 3 friends. We get on down to what's that, Market, and as McAllister is right there next to the, no, that's not true. That's Fulton. We move over to Fulton, head down to the main library, that Burger King that used to be there. You know that Burger King is closed? You know, right there on Market, where the library right across, that thing is closed. I mean, you know, whatever. But that was the first time I walked in there, and across the street from there, across on Market, was this big old hotel. But before we get into the hotel, we have been drinking. We have been smoking our joint. And we walk into the Burger King. And when we walk into the Burger King, this brother Marcus gonna say, "Hey, Chris." I said, "What?" He said, "Won't you give me a donut?" I said, "Man, they don't have no damn donuts at Burger King." He said, "Yes, they do. Look it right there in the front." I turn around, look at the burger, look at the donuts, fall out on the floor. I'm on the floor laughing, cracking up, because by now the alcohol and the marijuana has now kicked in. Because as we were walking down, the marijuana and the alcohol, the marijuana keep going out, right? It's in the joint, right? So the joint keep going out. I'm drinking alcohol, whatever, and you know, it was Hennessy, it was Alizé, and the moral of the story is, as we went to the party, I had one of the greatest nights ever, right? That's usually what happens. Or you drink so much you vomit, which I didn't do that. So the point is that when you drink or when you smoke or do any type of drug, so to speak, that first time you are constantly, you tell me if I'm wrong, please text if I'm wrong. You are constantly chasing that first day when it was that great moment of when you got drunk and when you got high. It gave you a feeling that you liked, that you indulged in that feeling. Do you remember that feeling? I truly remember the first day I got drunk. I try to walk into the Galileo dance. I go to McAteer. Okay, I try to walk into the Galileo dance. They hemming me up. What you doing? You can't just walk in the party. I had a ticket though, but I'm buzzed. I wasn't even supposed to get in. Okay, that's how buzzed I was. They were supposed to look right in my eyes and say, he is loaded. Get him out of there. But for whatever reason, they didn't. They let me back in. I got to have a phenomenal time. Okay, and there's more to the story, but I can't tell you because I ain't ready to tell you that story. That's what it is. So anyway, 24, get a DUI. They're in there telling me I'm alcoholic. I'm hella mad. How darest thou tellest thou meest that I am a drunk man, right? I don't know about the first time, but maybe reenact the best times. You see what I'm saying? Same scenario, same point, right? So I'm in this class and they're like telling me that I'm this alcoholic. And so as you sit there and you think and you're like, oh my God, damn. After you get told it 3 or 4 times, you realize, am I? And just like Beverly said, yeah, I stopped drinking and driving. And then after a while, I kept drinking and driving. Now, as I'm speaking to you all, I am speaking to myself, because there are many times when I may be somewhere and have my wife right there with me. But then here come this man ego saying how I can drive. And she ain't had a drink, not a sip. And her line is, are you okay? Yeah, of course I'm going to say I'm fine, because I never get staggered. But no one cares about you and your staggered, you selfish. Boop, boop. We didn't care that the fact that you are intoxicated, you are over the limit of 0.08. And that from that point on, you are breaking the law. Now, I'm not telling you I'm some super duper abide law living human. I'm not no criminal, but I will push the limits a little bit. But the fact of the matter is, I know it's been many times where I was in the selfish position of my family, of others that are on the road, and not being considerate that I could create destruction like massive destruction. Now, as I'm telling this story, you may not believe it because it's like, oh, how is this story so relevant on the day that you're telling the story? Today is Monday. On Saturday, I went to the city. I'm driving back. I'm on the bridge. As I get onto the bridge, and I'm on that last exit off of, what is that, Bryant, I believe. I get on that last exit, getting onto the bridge on Bryant. And see, again, I'm a lawbreaker, but not too bad. I go carpool. I don't have 3 people in the car. Hey, whatever, you know what I'm talking about, right? So I jump on the freeway. I get on. And when I get on, cars are kind of like slowing down. But I'm looking to the left and I'm looking to the right, but cars are still rolling. And I'm wondering, what's going on up there? So it's a car in front of me. They're driving. And they veer. Okay. All right. You know, no big deal. They're driving. And they veer again. Now, this is true. Now, we don't talk about the far right lane. They're veering to the left, right? Okay, like I said, not a big deal. Now, they start veering to the right. Now, we know on the right is a wall. Okay, it's a big old cemented wall with all of these different whatevers that protect you from just car just flipping the hell over into the water, right? The San Francisco Bay connected to the ocean that'll take you all the way to freaking Hawaii. Okay, so this individual keeps running into the wall. He's running into the wall. He's running into the wall. Could have been loaded off of drugs. Could have simply just been drunk. And it's amazing how things come to you and show you right before your eyes how reality is real. I look and I finally, so everybody's like cautiously trying to get around them and making sure that they're not going right into him, et cetera, et cetera. And so as I get over to the left and eventually I pass him, I look over and he's like this. Y'all look, he's like this. Like just, you know, this is the steering wheel and he just looked like he's half asleep. Right? Now, this is partly why I brought up this subject about drinking, but it's the holidays. We know drinking goes on in the holidays. Drinking goes on every single day. If you want to keep it 1 trillion, okay? Drinking never stops. Drinking is an all-day affair, all-night affair, everyday affair, 365 days. And if there was more days in a year, it'd be that. So the fact of the matter is that we have to be careful. We have to be cautious. Which one of you would be willing to, if you do drink, would be willing to go pick someone up who is intoxicated? When have we ever texted someone, called someone and said, hey, if you drink today, I'll pick you up. Or, hey, you know what? I'm not drinking simply because I don't want to drink and drive. One time. I'm not saying you haven't. Some people don't drink at all. Some people drink every damn day. This is something that's real. It's unavoidable. Why is it unavoidable? One reason it's unavoidable is because we drive every day, at least most of our days of our lives. Right? I know my guy hard works, pays. I know you ride your bike, but I bet you don't ride that thing every single day, everywhere you're going. You know, but even still so, watch this. Bike riders are just as endangered as anyone else, and probably even more of a drunk driver because there's no protection. You're not being protected by your bicycle. You're not being protected. That helmet, yeah, that helmet is, you know, it's there, but you get hit by a car. Come on, that's like getting hit by, you know, a couple of times or something. So we just want to be mindful of what we're doing, who we are, and every day that we can try to get better, we need to take those steps. I'm not telling you that I'm perfect and that, hey, I don't drink and drive. I'm not telling you that because I do. You heard me say it, I do. but I need to grow. I need to better me. But as I'm bettering me and talk to myself so that I can take the steps to bettering myself, I'm also talking to you. Because they always said it takes a village, but people usually kick people out the village because they don't want to hear what the hell they got to say. Well, damn it, as long as you on here, we're going to talk and we're going to relate so that one day, as we continue to grow and prosper, I can say, man, you know what, that brother gave me some, this random person that maybe no one even knows who you are or who I am. But we all know that we need to take steps toward bettering ourselves. A lot of people have grandchildren. You're an uncle. You're an auntie. You're a sister. You're a brother. Don't nobody always want to look at your drunkard. Don't nobody always want to talk to your drunkard. We don't even pop mouth what do you call it? Breath mints. Just drunk. And then when you jump in that car and then you get pulled over that woo, woo, and then your body starts to shaking. Oh, hey, that body starts to shaking. You get that nervous and tense. What the hell is about to happen? You can't think straight. Am I about to get beat? Will they shoot me? They're going to take me to jail. What's happening in jail? Oh my God, my cousins, my brothers, they've all told me what goes on in jail. And you are now in the feeling of reality. And the reality is that you can't get over your own goddamn weaknesses. And again, before you get personal, I'm talking to myself. As one, as a community. That's how we can get over this. Same here, every day, working on being better. Yeah, and if we don't start looking at the fact that we have some deficiencies, right? Me and my wife, we have a whole bunch of different debates about, children and next steps we take in and things like that. But you can't criticize someone for something and then turn around and do the same damn thing immediately and then vouch for it. Now, for example, no, we ain't gonna go there. We're sticking on the subject. The subject is drinking and driving. We know that shit is hard. Don't keep it. Don't act like it ain't. Okay? Because we all look. And if you was to ask a couple of people that I know, they'll tell you in a heartbeat that my IQ and my vision, it picks up when I'm driving. At least 2 people have told me that. Guaranteed. Shit, when I'm driving, I'm more of a cautious driver when I drink. Now you didn't sit there and play the notorious trick on yourself that you are now a better driver when you are drunk. And don't go throwing in texting because we text addicts. We texting addicts. Okay? You texting while you're driving. We already know that's bad. Again, talking to myself. Don't take it personal. Right? I see you, Shablees. Right? Don't take it personal. But the fact of the matter is that if you're driving while texting where you shouldn't be, then you done drunk and you're texting and you're driving. That's just a lot. So I'm going to say it again. Each and every day, as we open our eyes and the heavens above give us another opportunity to live and see what's going on in the world and tells you what's right and what the hell is wrong, let's just take it upon ourselves to try to get better. That's all I'm saying. And again, I'm speaking to myself as well as I'm speaking with you, not to you. 43 years old, and I swear to God, this woman right here lived to 93. That's hella long. You give me till 82 though, and I'm a satisfied man. Give me the 78, and I'm just saying, 93. That's hella years. 93 years. Like, I didn't really believe it. I kept thinking it was like, nah, maybe she's like 84, 87, 93 years. But guess what? She stopped drinking. She stopped smoking. I was the kid who stopped her from smoking. Because in the 4th, 5th grade, what was it? Ronald Reagan said, just don't smoke. Just say no. Right? Just say no. In the 80s, okay, maybe it was middle school, somewhere in there. 80, 85, 86, 87, somewhere in there, 88. Just say no. Just say no. Every day I would come home. Every day I would come home and tell her not to smoke. And she told me that before she passed, maybe about 20 years before she passed, she was like, you know, I stopped smoking because of you, right? I said, what you mean? She said, because every day you come home telling me about what the hell you learned about, just say no. And so I didn't want to hear your ass no more. So she stopped smoking and lived to 93. My grandfather on the other side of the bed, he kept smoking. He died like probably 25 years before her. And she had stopped drinking at like probably around the same time in like her, probably mid 60s, early 60s. It gave her freaking damn near 30 more years of living. We got to start thinking about how and what the decisions, because drinking in itself is one thing, but then when you drink and then you put yourself in another harmful way, because drinking in itself is harmful. Okay, they'll tell you all day, drink responsibly. What the hell does that mean? Does that mean don't drink and drive? That's the responsible part. That has to be the responsible part. Or is it they're going back to where you can drink a glass of wine every day because that's what's in the Bible? Right? There is rules. There's rules to everything. So if that's what it is in your soul, that's fine. I'm not knocking you. I'm telling you to manage it, be smart about it, do what's necessary to further ourselves, our family, and give a damn about the people on out there. It's okay to give a damn about them, even when they may not give a damn about you. But that's what makes us as individuals strong. When someone doesn't care, but you still care, yeah, I know it's hard. I know you don't want to hear that. I ain't finna, this motherfucker talk to me. Well, we're stronger than that. We're better than that. And I'm done. Because I will keep talking and we'll be into the second half and smooth hour straight up. I'm your host, Mr. Unknown, like father, like son. In the words of the great Kojo the character, life is great no matter what. Love y'all. Y'all be good. See y'all tomorrow, 6:30. Don't be late. Holla. Thank y'all.